Hello, it's Elsie here. So I really wanted to get our episode published today. It's our Balamory episode, and it's going to have to be published next week instead, due to technical difficulties. But instead, what I'm going to put out this week is just a sort of taster of the kind of content you will be getting if you become a supporter of the podcast. So we've recently put that up there as an option. If you didn't skip past the sort of auto opening header, if you like, then you'll know all this already. But yeah, that is what I'm going to put out this week while I get my technical issues sorted. So yeah, it's just general cut-offs of our normal episodes, because they're pretty baggy once we've recorded them. There's a lot of editing involved. So if you become a supporter of the podcast, those bits I didn't think were worth listening to, you'll just get to listen to them. The benefit is not huge, but, you know, thanks for supporting us anyway. And I wanted to acknowledge that our listenership has kind of jumped in the last kind of couple of weeks. So thanks, and welcome to all our new listeners. And that's why I really wanted to get the episode out this week, so you'd actually have something to listen to. But I guess the universe had other plans. So instead, you're just getting the offcuts of our usual episodes. I hope you enjoy. If you're into it, consider supporting the podcast. But also, you know, if you are a listener, you're already supporting us. So thank you very much for that. All right, we will see you next week, God willing. Do you know what an annual is?
No, my mind is going immediately to like almanac, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong.
What's that?
Oh, you don't know what? Do you know what almanac is?
I've heard the word.
Okay. Fuck me.
We're all learning today.
An almanac is it's a book that typically farmers have because it tells you a bunch about like meteorological stuff. So like it predicts stuff way in the future, like how much rain you're supposed to have, how much sun you're supposed to have, how much cloud coverage. Yeah,
I'm still getting over the fact that you don't know what an annual is.
She knows what an almanac is, but not an annual.
it came up in English.
You know, magazines such as Beano comes to mind immediately when we talk about annuals. They're like, it's the one you get that's like a hardcover version of it, and it's like,
and they come out at Christmas.
They come out at Christmas.
Okay,
you get them for
yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a Balamory one.
As a kid, did you never have one?
Not to my recollection.
I had a TV burp annual.
A what?
Harry Hill's TV burp.
Nope. Way over my
What
head.
age were you given a TV burp annual?
Well, it was when it was on, so I was maybe 10.
I don't think I ever got annuals, but my mum's friend one year bought me a Guinness World Records.
Oh, we had those. Yeah.
And then every year for about 15 years bought me a Guinness World Records. And it was nice. And like once you started collecting them, it does feel weird to stop.
Yeah, but they're so repetitive.
But I don't think I opened them after maybe the fourth one, but they just kept arriving.
They take up a lot of... They're hefty.
And
yeah, they're hefty.
my mum a few years ago did a clear out of my room and repainted it. Not that I'm not grateful, but I don't remember asking for it.
not that she's not bitter, but where the fuck are all my things?
And a few days ago, a couple of weeks ago, I had like this realization that when I was in college, I had this really, really expensive set of like artist professional coloured pencils, and I wanted them back. I just had this realization. I hadn't seen them in a few years, and I wanted to use them. And I happened to go home that weekend, and of all the things that made the cull of my bedroom, 15 Guinness World Record annuals made the cull, but my £200 coloured crayons.
This is the benefit of a hoarder family. My granddad would never think to throw something of mine out ever.
Well, I would say that the benefit of not being a hoarder family is that I don't miss them that much, because clearly I've not thought about them in many years, and I will just replace them, but it is a lot of money.
I found, so I don't know, you guys have both been at my granddad's garage. Did I point out there was like colourful wedged into the wall of shoes in that room, right?
Yeah.
The other one appeared. The last time I was there, I was like, oh my God, there's the other one.
Just for clarification, Laura's granddad's garage doesn't hold cars. It holds bits. And
no, it doesn't hold bits. It holds 12 Hoovers, 15 washing machines, 100 pairs of scissors, and every pair of shoes you have ever owned.
No, not every pair of shoes. A single of each of those shoes.
Just one shoe. Yeah. It gives me a level of anxiety that I've never experienced before. When I was staying there, I was acutely aware of being near that garage.
There's being near it.
I just don't want to be near it.
If you take something out of it, the house falls down.
Oh, the garage is an extension, so the garage will crumble on its own. Thank God. But there's one bit where it's like really precariously all resting on a panettone tin.
Oh God.
And I'm aware that there's also like a kiddie pool with water in it, also being held up by that panettone tin.
Are you kidding me?
No, absolutely true.
My biggest awareness of this is that when they die, and Laura's dad, who doesn't live in this country,
this continent,
I know I will have to help you.
Well, I insist upon it. I want to see what's there.
Okay, Elsie can do that.
Because I think there's kind of a lot of money in there.
Oh yeah, no, there is. Because one time my brother's girlfriend was in there. She pulled something off the shelf and went, "What's this?" And my grandma went, "Oh, you can have it." And I went, "No, wait a minute, let me Google it." It was a maybe 2,500 pound silver tankard.
Did you sell it?
No, I was like, I'm sorry,
Laura. I'm not being funny, but go get that tankard. Our problems are solved.
That's 2,000 pounds doesn't solve our problems.
No, but it solves
some problems.
It solves
a month
this
of
month's
rent.
problems.
I mean, there's so many things. Do you guys know what a penny black is?
No.
So penny blacks are very old stamps.
Oh.
And if you have, they're like, I think they're even like seal kind of stamps. If you have some of those,
oh, you're in.
You're really in. My dad, when he was younger, collected stamps, and my granddad also. my granddad also collected stamps.
Grass.
Yeah. So they both like
Have sex.
These hoarder like mentalities have been going on for ages. So there's apparently like a folder of stamps in that house that I was supposed to have and take pictures of to take to an appraiser, and my grandma was like, "No, I don't." So I place the hoarding mostly on my granddad, but the second I try and take something, my grandma's there like,
That's the thing, because it is actually going to take ages to clear that place out, because it isn't a simple case of get a black bin liner, let's start scooping.
No, it's a skip. It's multiple skips.
Yeah, it's not a case of get a skip, let's start scooping. It's checking how much things are worth. Yeah. Can we sell this?
Because there's an original iPod I found in there. There's like a 35-year-old modem, which is worth a bit of money. And it's just like, yeah.
Do you know storage hunters?
Yeah.
Do a storage hunters on it.
Well, no, because I'd have to do like cash in the attic, because storage hunters are like, we'll open the door and then they'll give me a certain amount of money.
Yeah, because storage hunters, you bid on storage before you know what's in it.
I could definitely get more if I went through it individually. Yeah.
Sure, get Drew Pritchard in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know who Drew Pritchard is?
Yeah, I lived with my grandparents for a year. I have to know.
Dude, I thought that was going to fly right over your head because you don't know what TV Burp or an annual is.
Yeah,
but Drew Pritchard from Channel 5's Salvage Hunters. Fucking hell, Laura.
If it's daytime TV that an 8-year-old
She knows
woman,
it. She
an
knows
8-year-old woman would watch.
It's Caravan Club.
I was unemployed for like a year when I was 18, living at their house. What do you think I did all day?
I too.
I would have hoped looking for a job.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah, but in front of salvage hunters.
I hate him.
That's how I got a Christmas temp job, and that was all I was able to get. Every time you say annual, I'm like, ooh, manual.
So Miss Hooley,
Every time I hear annual, I think, oh, manual. What? What are you on about?
like when Meg said, what did she say? Oh, that's like my name.
Oh,
do you want me to tell this story?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you're referring to the same story, but one time when I was in physics in year 10, there was like a trainee teacher who was doing her placement in my physics class, and my surname is Mumby, and my physics teacher introduced her as there's variations of my surname. She was Miss Mundy.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's just my surname but with a D instead of a B, and in front of my whole physics class, before I could even stop myself, I went, oh, that's a bit like my name.
out loud.
And my physics teacher just looked at me and went, Yeah, it is.
Well done, Meg.
Yeah, it was like, well done, Meg. And everyone applauded me. And it was humiliating because I hadn't even thought as it came out my mouth.
And yet,
Kids are so cruel.
by the time you get to university, you haven't dropped this habit.
No.
You continue every time.
Yeah, because every time I see the word vegan, it looks like my name. It looks like Megan missing 2 lines. And I see it and I think, oh, it's like my name. I do it all the time. Egg, that's like Meg.
There's so many.
That's me as a person, isn't it?
There's so many things Meg will just automatically come out with. Like one time, like if a train goes past.
I once, right, you know how trains, when they're approaching a platform like a station, sometimes they honk for other trains, but a lot of the time it's like to clear people of the edge of the platform.
We're not stopping here. Move.
No, but also it's a train doesn't come past and suck you under it, like basically. And we were at a level crossing once in a car, and a train honked, and without even thinking, I replied. I was like, huh, in this car, and no one has let me forget it.
No, I do that with cats. Every time I hear a
They're
meow.
a living thing, at least.
No, but you have to, don't you? Every time you hear meow, you just go meow. You do. You don't do that with dogs. If a dog is like, then you don't do it back, do you?
If when my dog would be like, for whatever reason, she's just going, yeah, you'd return, you'd go,
Yeah, but you wouldn't with an actual bark.
Sometimes.
My boyfriend's family had like wild cats around their house, and they had some kittens last summer, and they like basically domesticated these 3 kittens. So now these 15 wild cats plus the 3 now domesticated cats just won't leave the house.
That's the plot of
alone.
Aristocats.
So no, I do not. I don't reply.
Thanks, Laura.
I don't reply to cats because when
There's too many.
too
It's
many
all
of them. When they
symphony.
meow at me, I'm like, fuck off, get out of my way, because I'm allergic to them, and there's 15 of them.
I was quite old when I found out that the whole meowing thing is to replicate babies, human babies, right? And I was like, no, it sounds nothing fucking like them. Hear a
No.
cat through a wall.
Yeah, hear a baby through a wall.
It
yeah.
sounds
they're
exactly
the same.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, but when you're with the cat, it might just be because you can see that it's a
Cats were
fucking
like,
cat.
we can't do words, but we can do baby.
You've got all the toys near you. Well, that's because I want to play with them all. What, all of them? Yes, George, all of them. Oh, dear.
Hello, everybody.
Jeffy won't let me play with any of the toys.
I'm sure he will.
No, he won't.
You will, won't you, Zippy?
No.
There's a 26% increase on what we were currently paying, which we went back to the lettings agent and said, so you're suggesting we pay 26% more than what we're paying when inflation is 6%. And she came back to us saying, well, I'm sorry that you read my email that way. I was like, well, that's what it said. sorry for
sorry.
reading what you wrote.
Every time our agent, or I guess our landlord's agent, emails us, she's always like, oh, I've had such a week. I got back to the office. I've got this many emails. It's like, give a fuck.
We
don't care.
we found her on LinkedIn the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just so, we looked for a lot on LinkedIn because when I was in the hairdressers the other day, I was slagging her off and I full named her to our hairdresser without thinking that our hairdresser is on the same road as a lettings agency, and any of the other women could well have been the woman I was slagging off.
So we just wanted to sort of see what she looks like to make sure we don't ever speak about her in her presence accidentally.
So that our targeted efforts are accurate. Anyway.
That's not a threat.
It's a promise.
I think Halson failed because he was quite greedy when trying to get the stones after we told him not to. And as a result of that, we lost 8 stones. I didn't get a go because the others didn't want me to have a go and they didn't think I'd be able to do it. I don't know whether I could have hit the targets if I'd have had a go or not.
I was shouting the instructions and my team listened really well, and I think we did really well in that challenge.
I didn't think Halson did too well as being the leader of this challenge because I kept having to shout out when we had to go left and when we had to go right. I think the team leader got on quite well in this challenge because he didn't have to direct anyone because he's slightly weaker when directing people.
Oh my god, we've got some neighbours that always side-eye us when we walk home from, like, do you remember we walked home from the pub the other night and we were all really drunk and we were all, like, linked arms? And as we walked past those,
Yeah, that was nice.
those
We were all
guys,
holding hands.
Were we?
No, we were linking
On the way
arms.
home, we were holding hands. On
Oh,
the way there,
that's-
we were linked arms.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
So definitely some of our neighbours think we're in a throuple.
When we first moved here, every time we talked to people at like various shops around our house, people 100% thought me and Meg were in a lesbian couple.
Yeah, so
Especially at where you work.
I know you're trying to bring this back to the subject at hand, but
That's
the
fine.
shop that you currently work in, when me and Laura went there for the first time when we moved here, we signed up, or like I signed up to the loyalty system, and the woman who worked there, who is like, well, I don't know if she still comes in ever now, but she did when I
Is she
worked
quite
there.
old and German? Yes, she does.
I can't
sometimes
remember
come
her
in,
name,
yeah.
but she was quite an urban myth about this shop because
Yeah.
I think she ended up being sacked.
Well, she was homophobic.
Yes. Yes. So because I remember telling
Old
my
gossip I've not heard.
No, I remember telling my then boss when I started working
Yeah.
at that shop that when we'd signed up, she was a bit cold to us.
Yeah.
Probably because and my boss was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely. She thought you were together and she hated you for it."
Wow.
Yeah.
Cold
And
gossip.
her and my then boss essentially just didn't get along. They butted heads, and she kept coming in saying hi to her and being really friendly with everybody. And then when she left, everyone was like, "Why did she bother coming in?"
Habit.
Also, because she was in at least her late 50s, if
Yeah.
not 60s, and she liked doing things a certain way. And because her manager was much, much younger than her, she didn't have any respect for anybody.
So the team there right now, which is me, my new boss, and 3 other girls, it's the straightest working team I've ever been a part of. Like, they're all going on like dates every night. Like, there's just like a lot of reporting that's going on. You know, nothing gets.
Yeah.
You know, like how work friends will talk about anything, like no filter. Like, I'll talk to you two like this.
It depends on your workplace,
I think it
because
super depends
not in
on-
my work.
It's
okay.
super. I think if you're in a like customer facing on the front lines of battle, you're gonna chat about that kind of stuff. But I haven't talked to my colleagues about that kind of stuff.
My mum was saying, actually, when she started her new job that I guess she's been in for a while now, she was working at another place before this where they were all ADHD as fuck and none of them had any filter. And she said when she started a new job, it was like a big shock to the system because she was accidentally saying things to people that she was like, I really shouldn't have said that out loud.
I overshare accidentally, and then later I'm like, Meg, I shouldn't have said that to this person.
It really helps because I work from home most of the time. That helps with not oversharing
Yeah.
because I don't speak to anyone.
I overshared a lot to my physiotherapist. I think the second or third time I'd seen her, and I was like, oh, I just told that woman something I really shouldn't have told her.
The shop I work in is near a lot of bars, and my manager is like very close with
Alcoholic.
very close to being an alcoholic.
No, very close to the managers of these bars, and so
The enablers.
Yes, we get after work. If I finish at the same time as this lady, we get lots of free drinks all the time, and I've drank a lot since she's taken over the shop. And I said, I mean, to give an idea of the sort of filterlessness that exists between
Hashtag
us,
filterlessness.
we went for a drink at one of these bars, and I said to her, yes, and I Laura?
Anything to weigh in on this?
Yeah, no, my dad says that's a whale of a time. He really enjoys. He doesn't listen. He can't weigh in if I'm right or wrong.
And if you've ever wondered whether Laura was parented or not,
No, I was friended.
Laura's parents are very much friends and not parents.
my father, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call him by his Christian name, my father.
God-given name.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the sound of a rubber ball breaking a window? Would you like to?
So that is everything that didn't make the cut. You can probably see why. So if you made it this far, congratulations, and thank you for listening. So if everything goes according to plan, I promise that Balamory will be on the feed next week. So until then, thank you again for listening, and we will see you next week.